Let's get into the Word of God. Today I'm wrapping up the series, and we've been going through 7 whole weeks of a series which is called Are You the One? Let me say, first of all, this series has been a blessing to me because it's been a reminder of what relationships are about, godly relationships. And today I've found it necessary to teach on something that I've entitled, you see the set looks like Netflix and chill, right? Some of y'all need to stop chilling if you ain't married. Drink some water. Netflix and who? So, I felt like wrapping it up to talk about a subject that is so important in the final week. And this is for everybody because this is something that all can learn from. The married people can reinvigorate their passion and love for one another. And parents, you can teach your children what the basics of these things are. I just think that some of these things we just didn't know. You understand? And so we came from a place where you were just told if you don't know, don't do it. Right? I was a youth pastor for a long time, and I told people for years, don't do it. Don't do this. And the more I told them don't, the more they did. I mean, I went through it all. I went through a place where people who I dearly cared about, you come and tell me, Pastor, I'm expecting a child, and like, you know, and you gotta love them through that process. You understand? I personally feel this is that the reason why people make mistakes is because we don't tell them what to watch out for. Right? And we don't love them back into society. You understand? So I'm coming from a place where we were told, just don't date, don't kiss, don't talk to anybody, just don't. But the human mind is wired in such a way that the more you tell me don't, the more I want to do it. That's why Paul said it this way. The thing I don't want to do, I do. And what I want to do, I don't do. So today, I want to teach you for a few minutes on what I've entitled Dating Decoded. Dating Decoded. Dating Decoded. The first thing is this. Dating is not biblical. Uh-oh. That's the end of my message. I'm out. Dating is not biblical. There's nowhere in the Bible where dating is described. If you study even things like courtship is man-made. Nobody was in courtship. Someone was betrothed. Betrothed means they were about to marry. Okay? So let me tell you something. However, we have a culture today where we date, right? So now, I know some of you are like, that's it, we can't date. Look, a lot of things are not said in the Bible, like going to the bathroom, but we still do. Right? So just because it's not in there, we cannot use the Bible to help you do it correctly. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I want to say this clearly. There is no dating in the Bible. In fact, you are either a wife or a concubine, period. It's quiet today. I'm gonna have to work for my amens today. There was no girlfriend. There was no baby mama. There was no baby daddy. Nothing. You are either a wife or a concubine. So the first thing we need to establish here is that if you're going to get into a relationship, there must be clear direction of where we're going. Can I tell you something? You need to know where you are going. So we are a generation that loves feelings. You understand that? Feelings. It's all about feelings. You know, we from the time you were a kid, you were reminded of what love was going to, from a childhood, you understand? How many of you remember some old school song? Remember the song? I will never find another love more sweeter than you, sweeter than you. Help me, Jesus. And I'll never find love more precious than you, precious than you. Girl, you are close to me, you're like my mother. Close to me, you're like my brother. Close to me, you're like my father. Close to me, you're like my son. Come on. You are the only one, my everything. And for you, come on, help me sing. Let's sing. All my life, I pray for someone like you. Stop. You're praying for the wrong thing. That's why your life is messed up. I had you there, didn't I? All of you were like, help me, Jesus. And nothing, no. You've been praying for the wrong thing this whole time. This thing didn't just get into your mind. You've been wired to look for this thing your whole life. I pray for someone like you. So we're always looking for this feeling, and instead of functioning in our calling, we're always looking for somebody to make us feel right instead of somebody to make us function. That's why we have messed up people, because we're looking for people who are looking for a feeling instead of function. That's why we have dysfunctional relationships, because people are searching for a feeling, not function. I'm speaking to not just the single, but the married too, because you married for a feeling. Oh, I'm preaching today. I'm preaching, right? So all of us are looking for somebody to make us feel. He makes me feel nice. She makes me feel good. Even Delilah made Samson feel like. Every time Delilah came, Samson was like, don't far we know. Don't far we know. Allah. So, here's the problem. More people would rather be lost than lonely. More people, I'm talking to you because everybody hears these songs and they make us feel like being lonely is a problem. So people would rather be lost, messed up, than be alone. So you're looking for a companion for misery. A companion for foolishness. Oh yes, today is the last one. It's the last one. We are back to Jesus next week. And I need to hammer this, because I think the idol of our generation is dating. People are serial daters. You don't give yourself a chance to breathe. Even Facebook is confused. In a relationship, I'm sure even the owners of Facebook want to inbox you. But you are 12. How are you? So you can park there for now. So we're always looking for a feeling and not function. People would rather be lost than to be lonely. So we end up being dysfunctional. And I want to propose to you this, that relationships are not the goal. Relationships are the byproduct of walking in your calling. The goal is not to be married. It's not. That's not the goal. If the goal was to be married, Jesus is a failure. Paul is a failure. The goal is walking in your purpose. That's the goal. The goal is your master receiving you saying, well done, my good and faithful servant. The problem is our generation is ready to throw away their purpose for a partner. We are modern day Esau's, ready to sell our birthright for some soup. Please hear me. This is real. This is real. People are like, Pastor, why did you teach on relationships? You know why? I've not seen anything derail people's destinies more than relationships. out. Here, lifting holy, how holy, only you. One foolish guy. One. So I want to teach on dating decoded. The first thing I want to tell you is that the Bible doesn't talk about dating. Dating is not biblical. You don't sample your way into a relationship. You don't sample your way into marriage. That's what people have come up with. There's a culture of today saying, no, we need to know if we are compatible. We need to know if we're meant to be together. So how will we know unless we're together? Are you crazy? I want to show you from the Bible why that is hogwash. I want to show you from the Bible. I want to show you. I looked in the Bible and I was trying to find out where the first relationship came from. And I looked at Adam and Eve. There was nothing there. God just brought Eve there. Here, take it. There was no sample. He said, here. So I thought, okay, Lord, let me look at it further on through the scriptures. Okay, those are the first two. He had no option, right? Then I came across the story of Isaac. Abraham was saying, it's time for my son to marry. And I want us to go quickly to Genesis chapter 24 and verse 1. And I want you to see this, okay? Genesis chapter 24 and verse 1 and 4 in the Message translation. It says, Abraham spoke to the senior servant of his household, the one in charge of everything. He says, put your hand under my thigh. I don't know what was going on there. He says, and swear by God of heaven. That's a very weird oath, but hey, okay. Heaven and earth, that you will not, listen to this, that you will not get a wife for my son from among the young women of the Canaanites here, but you will go to the land of my birth and get a wife for my son Isaac. Here's what I want you to know. God knows when it's time for you to be in a relationship. This wasn't even Isaac looking for a partner. It was the father looking for a partner. So can I tell you something? God knows when it's time for you to be in a relationship. God wants it more than you do. But we mess up when we decide to take these things into our own hands and try to get it our way. God knew, the Father knew when it was time, because it's an issue of timing more than a feeling. Is my son ready to handle the relationship? Is my son ready to carry destiny and relationship at the same time? You see, some of you are in the wrong time and you want a relationship. Pastor, what is the wrong time? I'm glad you asked. If you are in school, that's the wrong time. Okay. If you are in school, you haven't finished school, you want a partner. For what? So you can both be failures. Finish school. Love your books. That's the wrong time. You don't need a heartbreak and an exam. You don't need it. Who needs a heartbreak and an exam? Who wants to be writing an exam when you can hear Neo in the head? So sick of That's Simlenga crying in the exam. People like exam na ikosa. Ta ikosa re. I think people who dump people before exams should go to hell. Like, I think you should know, like Monopoly, when you like go straight to jail, do not pass go. Like, there should be go to hell. Do not pass death, go. Right? God knows when it's time for you to be in a relationship. And here's the problem with many of us. We consult everybody about a relationship except God. What do you think? Isn't he great? Isn't he, man? Doesn't she do this? Isn't she that? And you don't pray about it. And you're like, oh my God, this is disaster. Why? You did not pray about it. Take time to seek God to know whether this is the right time for my relationship or not. David dating, there's nothing. There's nothing like, oh my God, let me just go through them all until I find the right one. Are you crazy? You go through everybody. You'll finish us all. So now I want to teach this. I want to teach this as well. For those of you who got married, some of us married because of consequences, you know what I mean? We may not be in the right time, you know what I mean? But the thing is, you're married now. You have to look at it and say, what time are we in now? How can we assess this relationship now? Yes, we were like this then, but we're like this now. It's about timing. Look at your neighbor and say timing. I'm going to give you some things which I saw from this story about what dating or could be done correctly, intentionally, for the glory of God. What Abraham says is that don't find a wife from Canaan, find a wife from my homeland. So let me tell you what you need to do when you're dating. Number one, check the background. What background? You see, many people think dating is about, you know what I'm saying, being coached, like I'm saying how we feel together, you know what I mean? And you don't ask questions. You don't ask questions. So you're looking for a feeling instead of function. Then you find out that after he makes you feel good, he's dysfunctional. Because this is not a time for you to find a feeling. This is time for you to ask, check the background. Where is this person from? Where is this person coming from? You understand? He says they better be not from Canaan, but they need to be from my homeland. So can I preach this thing? The person must have a background of faith. Oh yes, I'm saying this like I mean it. Listen, don't waste your time getting involved with somebody that does not have faith. In other words, don't date an unbeliever. Don't. You're just escalating yourself into a soul tie. That person needs Jesus, not you. You are not the Alpha and the Omega. You are limited. Don't waste it. No, and girls do this the most. You know, he just needs hope. Yes, hope is Jesus, not you. And he just needs to be trusted. Yes, I hear you. Don't date somebody who's not a believer. Don't do it. Your values will clash. I'm not saying they're going to hell. That's not what I'm saying. But their heart and your heart are not in the same place. So you have to check the background. Check the background. Does this person have a background of faith? He goes to church. Yes. Does he pray? Does he have a background of faith? Does he do anything in the church? Has he been involved in anything? You got to ask. Same thing with ladies. Just because you're here, it doesn't mean that you are saved. You have to ask. Ask, what's the background like? We used to do this thing as boys, you know what I'm saying? If you saw a girl, you do a background check. I said, what can you back Oh. And something about it was like, if there was no history, she was your future. But if there was history, you were skeptical about the future. I'm just talking real facts here. All of you do background checks on people before you date them, right? Here's the problem, is that you do background checks on the wrong things. You don't ask. You don't ask things. Let me tell you something. When you are dating, it's just time to ask serious questions. Because where you come from determines what you're carrying. Where you are coming from, you understand? If an apple falls down, it came from where? An apple tree, right? So what seeds does it carry? Apple seeds. Where it came from determines what it carries. So if a person is coming from a background that is not of faith, they don't have seeds of faith. They have seeds of folly. They have seeds of dysfunction. So you have to carry the right person with you, because if they're coming from a place that's ungodly, they're going to plant ungodly things into your future. You start asking, why am I doing all these things? Why suddenly am I smoking? Why suddenly am I drinking? Why suddenly am I watching all these things? Because you're carrying the wrong person. It's just, listen, I don't have a problem. Date, ask. But that's not the time for you to get cozy. That's the time to ask questions. How many girls have you been with? Straight. How many of them have you slept with? See how quiet you all are. Let me tell you something. Nobody wants drama in their relationship. Ask, got any kids? See how quiet you all are. I ain't saying there's anything wrong, but you have to know whether I'm ready for this. You got to ask yourself. And so people go to dates, kind places, so we can just play together. Chemistry. Chemistry for what? It's not an experiment. This is your life. It should be an interview, not chemistry. Talking facts. Are you with me? Somebody say, preach, Pastor. Ask questions. Where are you coming from? Who you been with? How many people you chilled with? What's your story? What do you think about this? What's your home like? Are your parents there? What's your family like? Ask questions. Where do you live? Have you lived in the same house all your life? Okay, married people know what I'm talking about. Have you ever noticed how the background determines your household, the things that you fight from, right? You come from a house where you can just go into the fridge and just do everything, and your spouse will be like, this guy. You understand? Because the villains are always in the background. Whenever they start a movie and there's a story and there's drama, the drama never presents itself from the beginning. The drama is in the background. Then towards the end, the drama comes as a guang, guang, guang. That thing, and the thing about it is that whenever there is a villain or something wrong, it's always hidden in the background for a long time. But sooner or later, it's going to manifest and rear its ugly head. So if you don't ask these questions, things will manifest in your future. And you wonder why we're fighting. You didn't ask questions. Ask questions. What do you think about this? In your home, did your father help in the kitchen? Because if he didn't, then I'm not going to help you. I've never seen it. You got to ask questions. You understand? What are your parents like? See, many of you wait for someone to accept you before you go and see the parents. I think it's time for you to see. I want to meet them. Let's see them. If I'm your friend, let's go. Have you not taken friends there before? Let's meet them. I'm preaching this thing today. Ask questions. Somebody say, preach, Pastor. Whether you like me or not, I'm going to preach this thing. Because my last one. You gotta do a background check. The second thing you need to do is this. Set the benchmarks. Set the benchmark. Set the what? Benchmark. Set the benchmark. Look at this. It goes on to say in Genesis 24, verse 10 to 14. It says the servant, so after he's been told to go and get a wife from the right background, right? He then says, okay, how am I going to do this? He sets a benchmark. He says the servant took 10 of his master's camels and loaded with gifts from his master, traveled to Aram Naharaim, the city of Nahor. Outside the city, he made the camels kneel at the well. It was evening, the time when the woman came to draw. He prayed. Listen to this. He says, he prayed, "O God of my master Abraham, make things go smoothly this day. Treat my master Abraham well." Look at this. He says, "I stand here by the spring while the young women of the town come out to get water. Let the girl to whom I say, lower your jug, listen, and give me a drink. And who answers, drink, let me also water your camels." So the person must not just answer, "I'm going to give you a drink, but I'm also going to water your camels." You see that, right? "Let her be the woman you have picked out for your servant Isaac. Then I'll know that you are working graciously behind the scenes." Listen to me. If you are going to date, the second thing you must do is set benchmarks. Set benchmarks. Don't give them a chance, give them a test. Oh. Don't give them a chance. Give them a test in the education system for you to enter the next level. We give you a chance by giving you a test. You don't enter without passing the test. Manje, us, everyone, open gate. Avulekila masango. Ay, ay, ay. Don't give them a chance. Give them a test. Everyone must qualify to enter your life. Oh, man. They have to qualify. And they qualify by passing the test. So when you are dating, this is time to give tests. Test them. Test them. And don't ignore the results. Women are masters of setting tests. I learned from my wife that when she said, I'm not thirsty, she didn't mean it. She was testing me to see whether I was concerned enough to buy her a drink and say, you know, sweetheart, you may not be thirsty now, but here's a drink for you to have later. You have to set tests. Set tests. Don't be the one who's always calling. Don't call. Let's see if they will call. If they don't call, ladies, go to a date with no money. Zero. 50-50 for who? For what? You are the one firing me. So if you are the one firing, you should be the one funding. You can't fire without funds. What is this? Yes, you have a dream, but come back when you are talking about I have a dream. You're not Martin Luther King. Let me show you what. I can prove this from the Bible. The Bible says the servant went with camels and gifts. He didn't come empty-handed. The man's job is to pursue. I'm old school. Women should not propose. Women should not follow. Women should be pursued. Hey, this demon of women proposing. Hey. Ha. The man's job. Listen, the girl was not close. She was far. He went to a land far away. It's your job to let's meet halfway. Halfway where? Walk to my house. We used to kick it. When you wanted to see a girl, yeah. No demon could stop you. Two-step. You even had songs the whole way. Kick it. And you still made sure you carried your stuff to dust yourself before you reached the gate and hid it behind the bush. You are showing up by my gate looking like you've been playing football. For who? Is this a game? But if he shows up looking like he was playing football, it means you're a game. Is somebody with me? The woman must be pursued. And we pursue through the level of sacrifice as men. Check. Is he ready to test him? How far is he willing to go for you? This is time to ask. Not no, we can do things together. Okay. That's your future. That's your future. That's your future. Women are not designed to carry the load. They're not. They're not designed that way. You can listen to all this stuff. No, you can be strong. I'm trying. I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. You survive. You will survive. Women should be pursued. Buy flowers. Do something. Buy something. Buy a PS bar. It's $9. Now, let me talk to the men as well. If you're married, don't stop pursuing your wife. Yes, are you married? Oh. Skirt. Skirt. That was a skirt. Don't stop pursuing your wife. Let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you the honest truth. Every woman is the same. I know you're unique, but every woman just wants to be loved. She is what you make her. If you like girls with those weaves, buy her. Buy her the weaves. If you like certain dresses, buy her the dress. If you don't fund it, don't be mad when it's not there. A woman is an incubator. What you feed her, she gives back to you. Miles Monroe said that well. You give her a home, a house, she gives you a home. You understand? You give her a seed, she gives you a child. You give her trouble, she gives you hell. Set benchmarks. What's my standard? What is my gentlemen, can I also tell you this? The right woman will draw things out of you. This woman was ready to draw water, not just for you, but for the camels. That means she was ready to feed your capacity. That's a woman. Share your business plans. Let's see what she says. When you share your business plans, what does she say? Oh, that just sounds no nice. That's a Sub-ref. Sub. Are you hearing what I'm saying? When you share what you want to do, what does she say? Does she mock you or does she feed your capacity? That's what you ought to be doing. That's what you ought to. Listen to me. And let me say this, men, that when you sacrifice for your woman, she will feed your capacity. When you go out of the way for her, she will feed. That's why I'm perplexed. People who date and what you're doing is watching movies. Hanging out with friends. Friends for what? You're going to be together forever. Know each other first. I'm always perplexed by this generation. They want to have group dates, group chills. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You don't even know the person you're having group dates. Group for what? Sit down. Let's have a 4-hour conference. Let's talk. We'll stay safe. Busy tiptoeing around everything. Ask, do you have a bank account? Do you save? That's what you should be doing on your dates. Discover the person. But the person needs to meet a criteria. Don't just allow anybody in your life. Women, the right man will draw the best out of you. You see, when this guy met the lady, she wasn't fazed. When he said to her, can you draw from my camels? You understand? In fact, he didn't even request. She proposed it. That's what you need. The partner was just going, I just want to follow, want Paris, Dubai. What is this? This is not Instagram. This is real life. You better be comfortable with us going to Mindolo down. Just edit the picture. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody who's going to pour into your capacity. Ask questions. Do they have capacity for you? I want to say this to married couples. If you're married, you need to still do what you did when you were dating. Keep pursuing each other. You know, marriage is a trap. And sometimes the trap is you become familiar with each other. Right? And let me tell you something. Sometimes, let me tell you something. Can I speak to the men? Okay. Can I be real with you? You, what you think is familiar, there's a chap somewhere saying, damn, to your wife. When you see them, like, damn. If I was your man, help me understand. Yeah. Your wife has dresses she's never worn because you've never gone anywhere. She's got more chtenges than Bazimai at the airport. She's more prepared for funerals. That's the tragedy of life. Take your wife on a date. Take her out. Tell her, you know what I'm saying, girl? Put that dress on. And you also don't show up like you're coming from a football game as well. Are you hearing me? Women, same thing. When you marry, don't now just start saying, they're not ready at thing. They're only tea. Should I pick up? Am I preaching this thing? You also have to take time to, go the extra mile. Take care of each other. Don't just finish each other. Are we together? I'm going to end with this last one. And the last one is this. Okay, so the first thing I said was, check the background, right? Number 2, set the benchmark. Okay, are we together? Number 3, draw the boundaries or set the boundaries. Draw the boundaries. Draw the boundaries. Look at this. Genesis 24, verse 15 to 17. So it happened that the words were barely out of his mouth when Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, whose mother Milcah was the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with the water jug on her shoulder. Look at the way she's described. The girl was stunningly beautiful, a pure virgin. Stop there. Don't worry about what follows. A pure virgin. Now, virginity here is talking about purity and boundaries. She was stunningly beautiful, meaning that guys fired her. Right? But she chose to abstain. She chose to be a virgin. She was a person of boundaries. Some people are virgins by default. Let me explain what I'm saying. I've not said about anyone's facial features. That's not what I'm saying. But some of you have just never had temptation. No. This has got nothing to do with beauty. I'm talking facts here. Some of you have been raised in your home. You've been shielded, protected. Go out there. Let's see what happens. I'm going to tell you something. Everybody is somebody's cup of tea. I'm telling you the truth. Everybody. But this woman was stunningly beautiful, yet she was a virgin. Beloved, in your courtship dating period, define the boundaries from the beginning. No sex. Don't wait to the moment where you're like, oh no, you can't move. Why did you wait till there? Listen,
If there's a dog in the yard, there's a sign by the gate saying, "Bus up." Enter at your own risk. Danger. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The boundaries are well defined from the beginning. So you must also define the boundaries from the beginning. We don't do this. We don't club. We don't go out anywhere. We don't spend time in bedrooms. Don't spend time. No, I'm not coming to your house. Let's go to an open area. Everything here happened in the open area. There was nothing hidden. Are we together? Define the boundaries. For those who are married, you also have to define the boundaries. You have to say it. Talk to each other. Married people, be real. Be frank. I don't care how you feel. We must have sex. Married. 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 This stuff, see, all of you guys pretend here. You know what I mean? This is what counseling is about. I didn't marry to have a bed partner. This is not, we must define. Some places they even have schedules. Tuesday, Thursday. Do what works. You know why I'm saying that? You see, a lot of you young people think that sex is just this thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to be endless. Like, you're just going to have this thing where it's, Telemundo. Buffy. Fais la poire. I was a perfume, say, fais la poire. You understand? So as young people, those of you who think that sex is the motivation, you're misled. You're misled. It has to be a relationship. It has to be that we must keep the fire for each other going. Define the boundaries. Define the boundaries. I'm not comfortable with you having these kind of friends. Be real. Be comfortable. I don't like those friends of yours that come here and talk smack about men the whole day. I don't like them. Define the boundaries. What can you do? I don't like your friends. I don't like this. Say what you want. You're not going to be married to me and come home in the midnight hour. Who are you? Jesus? Late in the midnight hour. No. Are you guys hearing me? Set the boundaries. For those who are single, if marriage is the goal, sex can wait. If you truly want to be with me, sex can wait. But I know your desperation. If you're thirsty, I don't think it's for me. Set the boundaries. Don't just get with anyone anyhow. Declare your boundaries from the beginning. Me, I go to church. We are not having sex. If you are single. You understand? We don't party after party. Define it. Define where this thing is going. Are we getting married or you're playing? I don't need friends. I've got many friends. I don't need an extra one. Why are you coming into my life? Don't come into my life, raise emotions, then leave. You people who just say, no, listen, I just like the way we are right now. I don't want to complicate it. Let me uncomplicate it for you. Leave. I don't know why people put themselves through such things. I just like how we are right now. I think making it official. Why are we unofficial? Yet you have official benefits.
Am I preaching this thing? That's what you ought to know. I don't know. I mean, look, the Bible does not prescribe this. But I have read this. And I've seen just from this story, that this was not a 6-month process. This was a 1-day process. Nothing. No, get to know each other. No, does this person do this? Can they do this? If they tick the 3 boxes, let's go. Let's go. Is the background right? You know, have they passed the test? Does this person have boundaries? If they don't have boundaries, leave. Leave it. Leave it, guys. Leave it. Listen to me. I'm going to end right now. Please stop playing. Stop playing. You see, some of you are all too listening to me. You're not even telling me to stop. I really want to end this thing right and tell you the truth. If you're married, don't stop dating. If you're married, keep dating your wife. Keep dating your husband. You understand? Call them each other names. You understand? Don't save your wife's numbers, the law, or whoever.